Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, The Amplified. I am The Amplifier and I share valuable life lessons I've come across from different books that I've read. So today we are diving deep into a concept you might have seen in the short video, the rat race. But what exactly is the rat race? Today in this full video, I'm going to be saying and unpacking everything that the rat race is all about, most especially how to escape the rat race. So stick around, this video is for you. The rat race. What exactly is the rat race? Well, I have a definition just for you. The rat race is an endless circle of working for money, paying bills, and being financially stuck. There are three keywords I would like you to hold on to. The first one is an endless circle. The second one is paying bills. And thirdly, being financially stuck. All these three components together makes up the rat race. I want you to picture in your mind right now a hamster in a hamster wheel. That little hamster puts in the efforts. It's working so hard, tirelessly, running day and night. But guess what? It's only running on a spot. It's only running on a wheel. That is to say, he's not making progress. Come back to that same place the next day, you will find that same hamster in that same position doing the same thing it did just yesterday. A lot of people are stuck in the rat race. So in real life, the rat race is people being stuck in the hamster wheel, whereby you are constantly putting in the hard work. You are constantly doing so much, but financially you are not making progress. That is the rat race. Let's also consider this scenario. An individual who works for money, okay, whose life is living from one paycheck to the other paycheck. His life is thrown off balance when there's a slight delay in payments. Why is it so? He panics the moment there is a slight delay in the payments. Maybe it's been shifted to a later day, or maybe to even the next month due to unforeseen circumstances. You find out that his life is thrown into absolute chaos. Why? Because he's living from paycheck to paycheck. Now, what is living from paycheck to paycheck? It's when a person just earns about enough to cater for his bills, groceries, and rents. That is what living from paycheck to paycheck is all about. It's a pattern that many people have adopted, unknown to them. They've adopted this pattern of working so hard, earning money just about enough, but spending it all on paying bills, spending it all on liabilities. Now, I've come to discover something, that the rat race has a pattern. While reading the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki said something quite interesting. He said there are two emotions that are responsible for the pattern of the rat race. He said the first is fear and the second is greed. Fear, right? Yes, of course, fear. Fear, a motivating factor that makes us work for money. Yes, that makes you get up and go chase money or go chase the dream. Yes, and the second factor is greed. How did greed come into this? Greed, that little emotion, but not so little anymore. That emotion that comes in the moment you earn your first paycheck. It comes and begin to tell you about all the nice things you can get with this money. Oh yes, you need a new phone. Oh yes, you need a new gadget. Oh yes, you need a new clothes, new shoes, new wardrobe, new everything. And that's where greed comes in. So these two emotions are responsible for putting or keeping a person in the rat race, whereby you feel stuck. You earn just about enough, but then greed comes in. You spend money on liabilities, on things that will not help you break out from the rat race. Now, you need to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. I have done a video before on this, but I'm still going to say this again. Assets are things that generate income and put money in your pocket, while liabilities are things that take away money out from your pocket. Now, a simple analogy or a clear distinction between the both of them is that one generates income for you, yes, and the other not so much, does the opposite, takes away money from you, takes away money from your pocket, and leaves you scrambling and running around helter-skelter looking for money. So when next you are choosing how you're going to spend your money, think twice about it, because you might be spending money on liabilities thinking you are spending money on assets. For instance, a person gets a car or buys a new bag or buys shoes In his mind, he's like, wow, okay, I've got some really nice stuff, I've got some good things for myself, not knowing that all these things are liabilities. At the end of the month, you end up paying for so much. The instance of the car, it needs fuel, it needs maintenance, it needs servicing, it needs a whole lot. If you don't have what it takes to manage a car, don't buy one. Let alone some persons even go out and get the car on credit. It's so wrong. Why? Because you are not only developing and building your liability column, but you are draining yourself financially, and that will keep you stuck in the rat race. How to break free from the rat race? I have some actionable steps for you to break out from the rat race, as we've come to know that the rat race is when a person is stuck financially. In a hamster wheel, you are stuck just there, not making progress. How to break free? First, you need to understand that you can take some small steps that help you break free from this. It's not something that happens overnight. No, it's a change you need to put in little by little, but every day make sure you're working towards that change. The first is budgeting. Budgeting, yes, a systematic arrangement of how you are going to spend your money and how you are going to save your money, or what you are spending money on and what you are not going to spend money on. That is budgeting. You need to have a budget. I can't overemphasize this enough, but budgeting is good. Why? Because it checks and balances how you spend your money. It gives you an account of how far and on what item or what material things you are spending money on. It might be clothes, it might be shoes, it might be the Wi-Fi, it might be the internet, it might be anything. But you need to budget so as to know where your expenses are also heading to. The second actionable step you can take is investing. Start investing. Reach that advice that you invest, you gather and accumulate assets. This is another actionable step you can take. Assets are things that, like I said, are things that put in money into your pocket. We have quite a few assets that I'm going to be mentioning for us. We have rentals. You can go into renting. You have an item that probably you don't use so much, and you know it can generate money for you. You rent it out to someone who uses it, and at the end gives you money in return. This exactly is an asset because it's bringing money back to you. You can buy shares, you can buy stocks, you can buy bonds. Put yourself in the financial market in positions whereby you are not missing opportunities in the financial market. This is investments. Minimize your liabilities. You need to minimize your liabilities. Yes, it's not everything that comes your way you want to buy. No. Few things, or quite a number of things we buy we don't actually need. We buy for the sake of, I like this, I want to have it, and we end up keeping it. That's not the way to go about it. Anything that you don't need, don't buy. You need to understand that there's a very huge gap between need and want. Need are things that are necessity for you, while wants are things that might be out of desire, might be out of, I think I like it, I might want to get it for myself. Then you go get it. Those are wants. So you need to minimize your liabilities and know the things that you will buy and know the things that you will not buy according to your needs and your wants. Mindset shift. This is another important actionable step you need to take. Yes, read books. Read books, financial books. Read books that will help you put your financial life on track. Develop the habit of reading books. It will save you, and it will keep saving you even till tomorrow. I developed the habit of reading books, and I can say this of myself. I am a much more better person today than who I was yesterday, because previously I wouldn't read books, but as of today I derive joy in reading books because there are a lot of knowledge that I come across in books, which is what made me push toward having the Amplify channel. Some other recommendations from the Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is Robert Kiyosaki, of course. You need to ask yourself a question. If I stop working for money, or if I stop working, how would my life be? So this is a question you need to ask yourself. The reason why you need to ask yourself this question is that once you do so, your brain begins to function. Your brain begins to think. Your brain begins to look for ways to get innovative, to get creative, to make you create wealth for yourself. It just so happens the brain has a lot of potentials that we don't even recognize. It's just like a person who wants to add muscle. Staying at home won't add any muscle, but hitting the gym regularly, stressing the body, pushing beyond his weight, will definitely grow those muscles for him. Now, it's the same thing. The moment you start asking yourself questions like this, how would my life be when I stop working? Will I be poor or will I be rich? Automatically your brain gets to work. It starts doing the heavy lifting. It starts pushing. It starts getting creative. And this is what rich dad wants us to do. Stop working for money and make money work for us. Pay yourself first. Quite interesting. While reading the book, I found this recommendation by Robert Kiyosaki quite amazing and amusing as well, because a lot of us don't do this. When we get our first paycheck, yes, we pay the bills, we end up paying for liabilities. But no, Robert Kiyosaki advised that we take this actionable step. The moment you get your paycheck, the first thing you need to do is to invest that paycheck into your asset column. Invest that paycheck into your asset column. That is what it means to pay yourself first. It's all about investing in your asset column. By so doing, you are paying yourself first. I also come across this interesting statement by Robert Kiyosaki. If you desire anything bigger or nicer or anything nice, he said, first buy an asset that generates enough cash flow to cater for that expense, which is what a lot of people don't do. I want a bigger house. I want a nicer car. I want something nice for myself. Guess what? You're not generating the money or the income, or what is handling the expenses of what you need. It's not coming from your assets. It's coming directly from your income, from your salary, from your basic salary. That's going to put you in financial shambles. But Robert Kiyosaki advised that whenever we desire something beautiful, whenever we desire a house, a new car, a new clothes, he said we should work on our asset column to make sure it generates enough cash flow to help us cater for that particular expense. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about what cash flow is. To get out of the rat race, you have to start with slow but impactful steps. Yes, it's not going to change overnight, but it's a combination of decisions and things that you do that changes your position, your financial position, and pull you out of the rat race. One of which is increasing your assets, which I have already mentioned before. Learn how to increase your assets. And remember, breaking free from the rat race isn't about working hard, it's about working smart. If you want to dive deeper into these topics, do well to check out our other videos and stay tuned for more tips on how to build a financial free life.